You are now witnessing a pro-black getting his RP. Oh man, this is what happens to many former pro-black men that get their RP awakening. Or if they've already had their RP awakening, this is where it's they're finally getting that the pro-blackness stripped from them by seeing things through a RP lens. And once they see it through a RP lens, they realize that the community, as Coach Greg Adams would say, or the community that they thought that they would die for is literally there's nothing worth saving in the community, right? It's not worth putting your life on the line for. So here, let's take a listen to this guy get his RP right in front of our eyes.
I realize now I spent most of my life in a community that don't value men at all, bro. They don't value men at all. They don't value masculinity. And just to look at me, just to look at somebody who's a hardworking man, and you could tell he a good dude, it's like it repulses them, man. They don't like that. They hate that. They want a man that fits that feminine mold that they used to and been used to all since through high school. And so it's like I understand what y'all going up against, man. These women, they don't want good dudes. The only way they want you if you're a good man is if you got money, bro. It got to be something they using off you. You got to have money. You got to probably be a white boy. Like if you from where I'm from in the black community, yo, these black girls will accept you if you're a white boy, man. You being all corny and lame and just want to work and be a father and take care of your family and be a good dude. Yeah, they'll respect that if you're white, if you're non-black. If you're smart, they don't like that. They want a man they can control. You can't be smart enough to see through their bullshit. So it's like, it's really no point, bro. You got to have no backbone. You got to be weak. You got to not be masculine. Like you got the 5 finger of Thanos, man. They got the 5 rings of Thanos on their hands. And if you ain't got none of that, he gonna snap you out of their life. They snapping you out of existence. They snapping you out of the dating pool. They snapping you out of the gene pool. They snapping you out of the social circles. They don't want you around, period. Sheesh. I realize now I spent most of my life.
Sheesh. No, I'm doing. Hey, man. He's getting like this, and this is very painful for a lot of particularly a lot of black men to accept, but particularly the pro-blacks, the former pro-blacks. I will say this though, for me, this is what happened to me. Because I still want to see black people do well and, buy houses, buy Cadillacs, get chicken, all that shit, right? All that jiggy shit. But what happened to me, this is what ended up happening to me was I took the RP, right? But I still have love for the community. But what ended up happening for me was it wasn't necessarily the 304s. What happened to me was when I took the RP, I started looking at everything objectively. So coincidentally, for some weird reason, I started picking up a lot of teachings. I started listening from the Nation of Islam. So I started listening to a lot of people from the Nation of Islam, but particularly Minister Tony Muhammad. And his teachings really, and guys like Nuri Muhammad, Minister Farrakhan, or the guys from the past, Malcolm X, right? These guys. The more I listened to them, the less pro-black I became. Because what ended up happening is when I listened to them, they were preaching their teachings and their preachings and what they were pushing was self-reliance, or Elijah Muhammad, obviously. They were teaching more, their message was all of self-reliance, not depending on white men or white women or white people in general to do shit for you, and not necessarily asking for something, but create something for yourself. And for some reason, that teaching really resonated with me. But the more I listened to it, the more I realized we are our own worst enemy. And that was really the painful realization for me, that we are our own worst enemy. This is why we don't even want to be around each other half the time. So this was a very painful, I'm talking about me, very painful realization for me that really I have to cheer, I have to support from the outside looking in, and really look at the community in whole, and really look at what's happening and realize I cannot be a part of that. And I would say that was very painful for me. And it even had nothing to do with 304s, because 304s are going to be 304s. But anyway, let's talk about him real quick. what he's going through is what happens to particularly a lot of pro-black men. They realize basically the women in their community be scamming them, and the only time they're using them is they're using them for like specific wants and needs. But particularly for specific wants, where you'll hear women talk about in the community. Uh, they'll talk about I only want a scammer, drug dealer, whatever. Because what happens in the community is this: if you're not an athlete, if you're not a musician, if you're not a pastor, if you're not in the entertainment industry, and if you're not a drug dealer or a degenerate, you're shit out of luck. And you see how I included pastor in there. Now, for me, I was an athlete and a musician, right? Still kind of on the musicianship side, right? But if you're not any of those, if you're not part of the entertainment industry, basically, if you're not part of the entertainment industry, you're not an athlete, and if you're not a drug dealer or degenerate, you're shit out of luck. Meaning you're gonna have to wait till these hoes turn 26, or sorry, once they hit 30 years plus, and then they'll allow you to maybe court or date them and take care of their bastard kids. That's what it's like in the community. So this is what it is. Those guys that I listed, those guys get first dibs, particularly the drug dealers. The drug dealers usually get first dibs. Athletes get second dibs. That's how it actually goes in the community. If you're actually a high achieving person, a regular average working, or even if you are a lawyer or a doctor, you get like last dibs, like last dibs. And really women are just, they look at you and they're like, we don't want you. And not only that, they will relentlessly tease you, make fun of you, you lame, you dusty, blah blah blah, you don't got no bag, etc etc. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, a lot of black men, they just accept it. It's really a hyena type matriarchy type big mama's house, type thing going on when you're talking about the community in general, and it's really sad. It's really sad. So now let's replay some of it. Hopefully I didn't miss anything in this video.
Life in a community that don't value men at all, bro. They don't value men at all. They don't value masculinity. And just
So yeah, that in terms of, it's literally in the community, there's no respect for men at all. Like at all. They're just there to be work mules, and if they called you dusty lame, they might use you later on in life when their life is literally so out of control. I'm meaning like 4 kids with 5 different baby fathers. Right? Yeah. I do the math like that on purpose just to show you how crazy it is, right? Or you'll have where it's normal for kids to be in a situation where their mom is in a room with their boyfriend. Meanwhile, they have 2 other men going to pick up their different siblings because the siblings are from, like, it's normal to see that in the community. It's hyena shit. You know what I mean?
just to look at me, just to look at somebody who's a hardworking man, and you can tell he a good dude. It's like it repulses them, man. They don't like that. They hate that.
And when men talk about stuff like this, people think, oh, he thinks he feels entitled to it. No, this is a guy that realized that he's been used. Because what happens when girls, but particularly in the community, well, really girls in general, but girls in the community, when they see a guy like this, they're like, oh, let me use this dude. They don't even, it's not that they leave you alone. They just look at, okay, we gonna use this dude. We gonna drain this man for doing the right thing. This is how it is in the community.
You want a man that fits that feminine mold that they used to and been used to all since through high school. And so it's like, I don't understand what y'all going up against, man.
This is why a lot of black men, they understand, like earlier on, like they'd be like, damn, for me to get vicious, I gotta grow out my hair. I gotta grow out my hair. I gotta get dreads, right? I gotta get a certain look about me, just to gain access. You know what I'm saying? This is very unfortunate.
Women, they don't want good dudes. The only way they want you if you're a good man is if you got money, bro. It got to be something they using off you.
But I said that really in general. If you're, what happens? This is what happens. But particularly, this happens also with like black women that are kind of like, that kind of live in the suburbs but still go to like hood schools, or if they live in the suburbs and they go to suburbs, if they're looking for an average dude, they just end up going to a white dude or an Asian dude. They're just like, what's the point of just going for the average hardworking black dude that's gonna be a lawyer, when I could just get a white dude that's gonna be a lawyer. You know what I mean? Or a white dude that's gonna be a HVAC worker. You know what I'm saying? Something like that.
You gotta have money. You gotta probably be a white boy. Like if you from where I'm from in the black community, yo, these black girls will accept you if you're a white boy, man. You being all corny and lame and just want to work in.
So right there, he's speaking from a place of hurt. Let's keep it real. He's speaking from a place of hurt as a former pro black, because I already know what happened to him, because I noticed that too when I was like in high school, where you'll have, or and in college I noticed that too, but you'll have these black women that are super pro black, but they'll have white boyfriends. Like I'm talking about ad nauseum, like it's normal. Like you'll have like the most pro black women, or black women asking black men to do certain things, and they'll have a white boyfriend, or it'll be like the bar of entry for a white dude to assimilate into the community is so low. The bar is like super low. All the man has to do is be able to be like to do like one dance. He'll be just do like just know how to dance, and they'll be like, yeah, he's accepted to the cookout. Don't you see? Like just, or them doing a secret handshake. Like the bar is so low of entry. The bar of entry is so low. Meanwhile, for black men to assimilate to other communities, they literally have to offer something. Like something tangible. The ninja got to know how to ball. The ninja got to know how to play 5 instruments. It's either that, or if he is a lawyer, or if he has to be like the best, and his future has to be, he already has to have the thing set, like, right, he has to be a prodigy. He has to be damn near a prodigy. You know what I mean? The bar of entry is so low for the average white dude to assimilate into the community, particularly when you have women guarding the entry gates. You know what I mean? And those are the guys that they're looking for, that they're aiming for anyways.
Be a father and take care of your family and be a good dude. Yeah, they'll respect that if you're white, if you're non-black. If you're smart, they don't like that. They want a man they can control. You can't be smart enough to see through their bullshit.
This is why they prefer the drug dealers, the scammers, the criminals. People just think just the thrills, but also not only the thrills and them having the law on their side. What happens is, because they're dealing with a drug dealer or scammer, they'll use that against that person. Say if the drug dealer impregnates the girl, or the drug dealer or the criminal is not doing things her way, she'll threaten to call the police on that guy. She'll threaten it. And if things don't work out, she could always say, well, he was a drug dealer. He was they'll say, oh, he's a deadbeat and he's an abusive person. But then they'll be like, well, he is a criminal. So they'll get away with messing with a whole degenerate for a period of time and use that he was a degenerate against him when things don't work out. Now, it's hard to do that when you're dealing with a dude that's on his shit, because now you have to contribute. You have to put something of value to where people can acknowledge it and be like, okay, you're contributing.
So it's like it's really no point, bro. You gotta have no backbone. You gotta be weak. You gotta not.
He's going through it. I feel for this brother, man. He's going through it.
Be masculine. Like you got the 5 finger of Thanos, man. They got the 5 rings of Thanos on their hands, and if you ain't got none of that, he gonna snap you out of their life. They snapping you out of existence. They snapping you out of the dating pool. They snapping you out of the gene pool.
Yep, and they do that ad nauseum. Meaning, the girl could like you, but if her den of demons, her friends, don't approve of you, then no way. Especially because what happens is, if you're not a dude that I mentioned, if you're not an entertainer, if you're not particularly if you're not an entertainer, a man of status, a man with money, and you're just the average working black man trying to go further in life, you're just the average black man, where it's a question mark on you. She's going to run you, even if she likes you, she's going to take your profile or run it through her hen of demons of friends. And if they don't approve, which most of the time they don't, because they're bitches like that, that's what they do. They don't approve, you're out. This is why it's literally only you'll have a situation where you have in Memphis, it's 3 dudes that are fathering 84 kids. 3 dudes in Memphis fathering 84 kids, 40 different baby mothers combined with it. You got 40 women sharing 3 dudes, procreating with 3 dudes. This is why it's like at nauseum in the community. And then now it's so bad now where now you got these kids now. They'll find they're going out with each other, then they're finding out that they're cousins, that they're actually related because it's like one dude that was smashing all the women that they all approved of. They all approved of. It's terrible. It's terrible.
They snapping you out of the social circles. They don't want you around, period.
Mm-hmm. If they don't approve, they'll make up something about you. You can't be in the social circle. This is why you can't allow women to run the dating market. Meaning, they can't. If they're making the final decisions, this is what's going to happen. What you see what the community is going through right now. It's literally degeneracy.
I realize now I spent most of my life in a community that don't value men at all, bro.
So yeah, that's what happens with most pro-blacks that end up going into the RP. Because I'll see the transformation via Twitter. I've seen a lot of, especially now. I've seen post Kevin Samuels. But I like to say post Aisha Curry's comments in 2019. Post Aisha Curry, I've seen a lot of pro-blacks transition to this. Like I've seen a lot post Aisha Curry. I don't like to say post Kevin Samuels, even though it's obvious that that's part of it too. But I say post Aisha Curry, I've seen a lot of pro-black men that have basically transitioned into this way of thinking. That have now they would consider themselves a part of this space. But it's I will tell dudes this, pro-black men, they go through it the worst because when the pro-black men really get that RP, it hurts them. It hurts to know that the 304s that they were simping for, you know what I mean, were just like on some other shit. You know what I mean? That didn't even. I'm talking about don't even. Because you'll even hear black women say this today. They'll be like, "Oh, nobody's protecting black men. I mean, black women, we're the least protected." And I'm like, do you know how many ninjas are in jail? How many ninjas are in the grave over the word of a black woman because she couldn't take that L because she was mouthing off and she told a lie to the dude. And I'm like, it's like in their minds, people like that don't count. You'll even have black women now on Twitter talking about black men were calling Serena Williams ugly. And I was like, no, that was, first of all, that was white men from other countries doing that. And white men from the United States saying it was black men that were lifting her up for the most part. You had Jamie Foxx do a whole serenade for her and all this stuff. You didn't see white dudes doing that. But it's like, you'll do all this stuff for them, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? And this is where a lot of pro-black men start to get that realization, and it hurts them. Trust me, it hurts them, because I already knew it hurt me to finally realize that, in terms of that realization of we are our own worst enemy. I am my own worst enemy. That realization, it hurts. It hurts where you've basically been pointing the finger at the wrong people. That hurts. You know what I mean? But I can only imagine, especially when you talk to the average pro-black men who really they love black women, bro. They really do. They'll taking care of their bastard kids and all. Something I would have never done, even when I was a pro-black. That was something I would never have done. You know what I mean? There were certain things that I was like, no. Or when you'll have like those pro-black dudes. Those were the same ones that were calling black women queens and all this. That was always cringe to me. But I always feel for them the most, because once they get that realization, it hurts them. It really hurts them.